We come to the section on how do we reach out to them. Reaching out to your oikos. In our last video, we talked about reaching out to our oikos. In the next 3 months, make it your intention to meet with your oikos more often and share the gospel with them. Zoom meetings work fine, but if you're able to meet with a person in person, that works just as well. Who are the people? Ask yourself, who are the people that I meet on a regular basis? Who can I start reaching out to, build relationships, and share the gospel with? Ask the Holy Spirit to guide you. Reaching out through social media. Look at your Facebook list and be intentional about building rapport by liking and commenting on people's posts. You know that warm, fuzzy feeling that you get when people like and comment on your posts? That's exactly how they will feel if you do the same for them. It may not seem like a lot, but over time it builds up and people will remember. So I want to share a short story of my friend Jess. Jess is a classmate of mine from college, from art school. And we weren't really friends when we were in school together. But after we graduated many years ago, we befriended each other on Facebook. And so I made it my intention from the beginning, whenever I saw his posts, I would try to, because I knew that he was not a Christian, whenever I saw his posts, I would try to like and comment on his posts to build a relationship, right? And so this went on for several years, and we've built kind of a rapport. And one time he posted on Facebook that he was requesting good thoughts, good vibes, good juju, and prayers for his dad, for his elderly dad, who was, because of his old age, he was going in and out of the doctor's office and getting checkups. So he was asking for prayers, basically. And so I told him, I posted that I'm praying for his dad. And he did this multiple times, because his dad was coming in and out of the hospital. And even during a Christmas season, he posted online that, even though he's not a Christian, he was, his Christmas wish from baby Jesus was that his dad would live a long life so that he can spend more time with him. And then about maybe three years ago or so, he posted another request for prayer, asking for good thoughts, good vibes, good juju, and prayer. And he posted about his younger brother, who got cancer and was going to go through a series of therapy. So again, I told him that I'm praying for his brother, and I also shared my testimony. My father, back in the day, about 15 years ago, had cancer, and the doctors had told him that he was gonna, the chances of him surviving was about 50-50. But all of the people in our church prayed and fasted for him. And the surgery was a success, complete success. And he was healed. He was completely restored in his health. And now he's healthy 15 years later. And so I shared that story with Jess. And Jess was really encouraged and really appreciated me sharing that. And he actually shared that story with his brother, who really was encouraged by that story. And both of them, they said thank you for sharing that story with them. So ever since then, it's amazingly, Jess always posts, whenever it's my birthday, he always posts this personally made artwork, personally drawn artwork. And at the end, he says, "God bless you," which doesn't seem like a lot, but for Jess, knowing who he is, knowing that he's not a religious person at all, is a huge step forward. And I share this story with you guys because, on Facebook, just simply by liking and commenting on people's posts and just daily interaction with them and praying for them, you can go a long way in opening people's hearts to you and to the gospel. So I really encourage you guys, whenever you see someone on Facebook who posts something, simply say a short prayer for them and interact with them and reach out to them. So because of the pandemic, because of social distancing and the fear of the virus, we talked about that we really want to focus our energy on relational evangelism, reaching our oikos network. So I want to share some tips on doing relational evangelism. First is building rapport and trust. So with these ongoing relationships, it's okay. You may or may not want to share the gospel right away, depending on how close you are to the person. You may need to spend more time building trust, rapport, and relationship before you can talk about deeply personal matters like faith. My mistake in the past has been to try to ask people about their beliefs before I had a chance to get to know them and they had a chance to get to know me. This can work against us. Relational evangelism is different than street evangelism. In street evangelism, we don't have much time to interact with people, so we have to kind of cut to the chase and be direct with people. Whereas relational evangelism, the general safe guideline is that you build enough of a relationship and rapport so that there can be trust established before you can talk about matters of faith. Second tip on relational evangelism is being committed long term. So with relational evangelism, you're not just looking for immediate decisions, for people to give their lives to Jesus right on the spot, but you're committed and invested in them long term, even if they're not ready to receive Jesus right now. Third tip is demonstrate the gospel through love and action. After you share the gospel with them, keep praying for them and keep showing them the love of Jesus without trying to convert them in your own strength. Keep loving them, but wait for another opportunity to share Christ's light. If they said no to your initial offer, do not try to keep forcefully trying to share the gospel or convert them, but wait for another opportunity, whether they bring it up first or whether you have a natural opportunity. Focus on showing them the love of Jesus through your love for them, through your integrity, your character, and actions. Fourth tip is to move on. After doing your best to share the gospel and having encouraged and exhorted them the best that you can, it's time for you to move on and look for another person on your list to share the gospel with. That doesn't mean that you're giving up on the first person, but you're simply acknowledging that they're not ready and entrusting them into the loving hands of God and looking for another person to share the gospel with. You're still praying for them and maintaining your relationship with them, but give them time. Let God water the seeds. Don't try to keep digging up the seed. Expanding your oikos. If you don't have people in your oikos list who are currently not following Jesus, you have to find a way to expand your oikos. Get in the habit of chatting with strangers. One of the simplest and best habits that you can develop as an evangelist is saying hi to strangers. On your morning run, greet everyone you meet. At the grocery store, at the gas station, chit-chat with people. Build relationships everywhere you go. Get to know your neighbor, your barista at your favorite coffee shop, your hairstylist. Look for gospel opportunities to share the gospel. Even if you're not able to share the gospel with every one of them, you never know what kind of opportunity that God may lay on your lap if you're actively seeking to be his agents. The key is building relationships, and it starts with saying hi. For our practice, think of people in your oikos network whom you can start reaching out to. Think of ways to expand your oikos network. Who do you meet on a daily basis whom you can befriend and introduce Jesus to?